Okay, we'll call a meeting to order. Are we on? Okay, this is Bill Cann, the Custer County Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. It's Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. Very significant day. It's our wedding anniversary. So I want you to know I care about the county that much that I'm here to keep it the way we are in the wonderful county that we have.
How many years?
51.
A rookie.
I'm just a babe. What time is it now? 9:01. So if you got a cell phone, dampen the cell phone noise, turn off your ringers. And we will call this meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. How about you, Lucas?
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please join me in the prayer. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father God, we thank you for all our blessings, and we ask you please bless this meeting of the Custer County Board of Commissioners. Strengthen us with wisdom, patience, and kindness so that we can solve all the perplexities and problems and choices that become before us today. Thank you for this wonderful county and the citizens that are in it. We ask for your blessings on us all. Grant us grace to ask what you would have us to do, and that the spirit of wisdom may save us from all false choices. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Roll call, Kelly.
Commissioner Kanda?
Here.
Commissioner Epps?
Present.
Commissioner Vogelsong?
Here.
BOCC admin Caitlin Womack here, and clerk to the board Kelly Hunter present.
Great, thank you. Just a mic check. We're mic'd now, so you ought to be able to hear us a little better. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
A little bit.
Yeah, be closer.
We gotta be a little closer on this.
A little bit.
We can turn them on and leave them on, right? You turn them off between.
Now, you want them on all the time, don't you,
Either way,
John?
I'm not.
I'm gonna leave it on, and we'll see if the
It
battery's
seemed
down.
to work better
Okay.
when they were just on the whole time.
Okay, can you hear me at this volume now? Are we good? Okay. All right, audience introductions, and let's start at the front here, Kathy.
Kathy Griffin.
James Gilbert.
Jim Chaplin.
Got somebody behind Kathy? Yep. You're up, you're in that row, stay in the row, okay, go ahead.
Client Butler Airport.
Okay, got it. Back to Virginia.
Virginia Tribune.
Rob Knappy, Younger. Vicky White, Department of Human Services.
Tim Harmon, Recycling. John Mapes, Custer County IT.
Robert Smith, Custer County Human Resources.
Brian Lockhart, Landfill.
Vince Road and Bridge.
Nikita Phillips, Deputy Coroner.
Brad Balsley, Coroner.
Rick Smith, Sheriff.
Thank you. Anybody online?
We have 4 online: Jeff Wood, Westland Flood Design, Jeremiah Coleman, Rhonda Post,
Okay.
Rob online.
Good. Okay, I want to point out the protocol now. We're changing up the way we're doing meetings a little bit now, and this is particularly one of the big changes. We're going to do only staff reports once a month. That's a state requirement. That's a Colorado revised statute requirement that we do that we, the commissioners, meet and understand each department like you would in any business, what's happening in the last month that we ought to have our attention brought to, or what the mission is of that department and how you're tracking against it, how you track against the budget, anything that they want to bring up. The written reports are available for the public after we approve this meeting, and the minutes, those will be posted. But in the meantime, and the public's more than welcome to come to these meetings, of course, and listen, but there's not going to be any back and forth debate. And what we're going to try to do is limit it so we can be out of here, because we've got the whole leadership crew here, I believe most of them, to listen. And I asked them to stay to listen to each other's report. That's important. And the reason it is is because each department has a budget. There's one big budget that you, the citizens that are out here, fund us to do our jobs. And so it's good for us to have a tight team that understands each other's issues, so that when it comes time to worry about fixing the road out here in Copper Gulch, or to build a new house and provide some more housing, or whatever it might be, there has to be trades, because it's not like the federal government, we have a limited budget, and it's small. You know, our budget's like in the $7 million, and we have a $14 million service we provide, and a lot of that's made up by grants and volunteers. So that's how, if we can get everybody, and there's smart people in our departments, our leadership. So the idea here is to give you 5 minutes to give your report, come up and give it, not recite what the written report is. It's to summarize it, what's happened. If nothing's happened, that's fine. But I'll bet you a buck there's issues or some things that you need to tell us, or could tell us, you think's not important. But it might be in the long run, because it may be that we're gonna make a trade to take some money out of the fund for the landfill to do something with in Road and Bridge. We can't take money out of Road and Bridge, but we can sure put money into it. And voluntarily, we can ask for donations, and all those kinds of things happen. Or in the end, it may be that we decide we gotta go to the citizens and up the mill levy. That could happen. And if we're getting more people, the roads are continually being worked, and we need sources of money. And we don't have a lot of UTEP money to spend, and sometimes we may have to accommodate the citizens that really want the roads fixed. To help do that, we might take all of us to have a vote, and if the citizens don't want to do it, that's the way it is. Or if they do that, we'll raise it up accordingly. And budget time comes, we're going to meet in July for the first August to go through our budget build and take a look. Also, mid-year point in some cases we try to look at it. To understand how each department's tracking against the budget they got, and that would help if the landfill and the recycling see that, well, maybe the recycling needs a little help, and I understand why we need to shift the money out of one pot to the other, because the other department's not spending the same amount or enough, or they're below their budget. So that's why it's changed a little bit, and they're going to stay here and listen to all this, and we'll start off with a 5-minute time clock on it, and we'll try to keep it tight. That way we should be out of here. You want to put money on it by 11 today? No? Okay. All right. With that, are there any amendments to the agenda?
None for me.
Paul?
None for me.
I don't have any either. Approved of the minutes for May 15th. They look good to me. I didn't have any changes. You got any?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of the May 15, 2025 Board of County Commissioners.
I'll second that motion, Wilson.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Kanda, aye. Okay, attorney items, and Dan is not here. I don't think he's coming today.
No.
What I
No,
understand.
he's busy.
And with that, how about you, Caitlin? You have anything for us?
You skipped commissioner items.
Oh, I did. I was doing all the talking. Commissioner items, anything, Lucas?
No, we had a good turnout at the Veterans Coffee. There was probably 5 or 6 more people than what's there. We do have Fremont County's veterans are going to be coming up here fast and furious. They're just not getting the help from their VSO that they deserve to get. So they'll be up here, and we will serve our veterans wherever they are, basically here in the surrounding counties though. So that's what our focus is.
Yeah, borderline on the Fremont County side. It's hot with them.
Yeah. So,
Okay, anything else?
um,
By the way, Veterans Day or Memorial Day is this weekend, so the county will be on vacation on Monday, and the veterans will be honored.
yep, correct. No, nothing else.
Paul?
No, I was gonna say the VSO over at the library was a success. It's getting to be a very normal coffee time, and very good discussions over there just to keep them involved in both Mount Carmel and the VSOs are there, so just wanted to add that.
Might make a point of what address and what time, so that other people that are online. can get
That'd be the library at 8 o'clock on Wednesday mornings for 1 hour.
Okay.
So they have coffee and some kind of a dessert, or not dessert, but like muffins and cookies or something there, so.
And that's men only?
No,
No, women
no, it's
can come
veterans.
too.
Veterans.
Okay, I thought there was a separate women's one.
There is
Yeah,
a
you-
separate women's one,
But they
reach out to Christy Schramm on that one.
Yeah, good question.
So that's all I have.
Okay, and I don't have anything new wise, but the TV channel has been playing tricks with us again, and it looks like they came up and did reset so that it'll default to the internet, which is not a bad default, but and leave the online wave direct beaming off, because that transmitter's having a problem picking it up. So we may end up turning in a warranty on it and getting another transmitter. That's probably where we are. And I do have the invoice for the last trip.
Okay.
We have time to get that paid today, this time, or we'll wait.
Yeah, because we'll pay bills next week Wednesday, so get it
We'll
in.
get it to you today. Okay, with that, let's catch up on Caitlin.
I don't have anything new.
Okay. All right, elected officials, first report. How about you, Rich? Come on up. Thanks. Good morning. See, you've been busy.
Thanks for taking care of that, Kate.
Yes.
So this is our monthly report for the month of April, and we responded to 629 calls for service, made 5 arrests and 224 traffic stops. I'll repeat all that now the microphone's Sorry, everybody.
Lots of arrests.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So this is my monthly report for the month of April. The sheriff's office responded to 629 calls for service, arrested 5 people, and made 224 traffic stops. And then we share our 911 services with Fremont County, the Combined Regional Communications Authority, and they had a total of 7,198 calls, which is a lot for them. And
Is that combined or just us?
for both the 2 counties. But that's a lot, and so it looks like it'll be a busy summer for us. We had a new school resource officer we replaced in the fall, Kobe Lusader, and a year or so ago, we asked the State Department of Public Safety to send out a school security to do an assessment for us, and they made some recommendations, and that was Kobe's top priority to get those done, and he was able to get those completed this year. We also got our SRO pickup, which is a purchase that you guys funded, and sent it to a vendor and allowed the school students to make design suggestions. So we combined all that up, and it just got done yesterday. It looks really good. So it has the Bobcat logo on the hood, the tailgate, and both sides says sheriff in big letters. And then like on the back tailgate has a bunch of like little handprints. And then it also has an autism symbol on each side too, to recognize our dealings with the autistic. I wanted to commend John Mapes, and I see him here in the room too, your IT guy. And we've struggled with our connectivity with our new records management system and CAD system, which is what the dispatch uses. And it just uses a lot of data. And so he was able to figure out how to get the data sent in a timely fashion. I can't remember the number you told me the other day, but we were sending a whole bunch and we only needed to send a little bit. And he got that fixed for us. So, and that was something that has taken months to troubleshoot. We have 4 volunteer special deputies, and that's in addition to the posse. One of those, his name is Cole Collins, and he's a member of the local community. He was off duty last weekend in his personal car and came on a horrible motorcycle crash where the person had partially amputated an arm and a leg, and he had 1 tourniquet. And then by the time the ambulance got there, they ended up putting 5 tourniquets on the guy trying to get the bleeding stopped, and it was a successful save.
Wow.
So we're upping our tourniquet count because that's a lot.
Might explain the difference between a special deputy and a deputy.
Yeah, so it's something allowed under the state statute that the sheriff can appoint someone to be a special deputy. And so Cole is specifically related to our dive team. And he's again, a volunteer, like a posse member. We have someone who helps us on technology crimes, and we have someone who is a crime analyst, a retired cop, and then we have a fourth person who's a retired firefighter who advises us on like wildfire response. I plan on going to the hospital board and reiterating the need for additional staffing, and they're very busy with just one ambulance during the daytime. We have a need probably for a porta potty at the gun range, and we've got 2 student groups that go out there with male and female participants. And this weekend, we're gonna work on, we're gonna sponsor a parade on Main Street, and then also participate in a memorial service on Monday morning. And I had mentioned to the board in the past, my goal was to get a citizens review panel up and going, and I wasn't successful doing that last year. So I've abandoned that idea, and instead I'm doing something I'm calling focus groups. And I had kind of a preliminary meeting with some area ranchers, and that would be one of the groups we want to focus on. And then this Saturday morning, I have a preliminary group with some of the faith leaders to ask what their needs are. And then my goal would be to bring in all the ranchers or all the faith leaders, and I've got several other ideas.
And other groups as well.
Yeah, just to get.
That's a great idea.
Specific needs that, how we could better serve their community.
Besides just the roads being potholes.
Yeah. Yep. So that's all I have, right under time.
Way to go.
We're good.
Any comments from anybody here in the room? Good. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Rich.
Great report in 4 minutes, 10 seconds.
That's right.
They have
Outstanding.
a big clock facing them.
All right, Virginia. Hi, Virginia. Thanks.
Virginia, welcome.
Good morning.
Here's
Yours, one to sign and one to look at.
Thank you.
Okay, so could you do, from a point of view of how we're doing a little bit different, just tell so everybody can hear what you started, the balance was, what we ended up with? If
I
you
don't
any
have my
issues.
glasses.
Oh,
You borrow mine?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, a
no.
bunch of
I wish I would have known.
well, if
we
you,
were
well,
doing
I'm
that.
sorry, but that's okay.
I can pass it around.
Why don't you do that, and why don't you read it?
All right, so beginning balance at the beginning of the month in general fund, well, the total was $11,923,782.19. And the balance now at the end of, and this is the end of March, is $10,051,856.53. And this includes, this isn't county's spending budget, this is every special taxing district there is. So she, like we kind of said before at times, she collects all the tax dollars and then distributes it to all the various
All 11
taxing
districts.
districts. So, yeah, the only question I have is the various auto tax, we're in a hole on that one.
That's an error, it's being fixed.
Okay,
Next.
I thought so, but,
Yeah, it's,
and that's from March,
yeah, yeah.
so we've had,
In the future, it'll be, you'll see it fixed.
okay.
And why is it various,
It's her various tax, different taxes
different tax?
from the clerk's office.
Okay, any comments on that? You good?
No,
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's monthly report from the 3/1 to 3/31/25.
I'll second that motion. So, any other comments?
No, I think Redlands has been
She's been
greatly
wonderful help.
helping. So something I don't think people realize too, and this is a major problem with the IRS. We make an IRS payment every month, but the way they draft it out of our bank account is in 3 different or 4 different or 5 different
It's the way they take it out.
combinations of that reach that 100,000. So it makes it really tough for her to reconcile.
Right,
So,
so it could
and-
vary a minute, and the other one.
Right, and we have zero control over the IRS.
Right.
So we've been working through those issues and figuring out a way to do those, and with an accountant helping us, we've been getting through those.
Okay, nothing else, I'll take a vote, all in favor, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Aye.
Kanda, aye. I'll sign it.
Thank you, Virginia.
Thank you.
Thanks, Virginia.
Okay, Brad, you up and at 'em.
So Mike, I thought we were doing karaoke or something.
Can if you want. Can you sing your recording?
No, not worth the time.
That's not a problem.
I can, it just doesn't sound good.
I'll start the
Tip
music.
that down toward you. Just speak up loud, it'll pick it, you
Okay.
don't have to look at it.
Very good.
Okay, Brad, go ahead, looks like you escaped a death there. Sound
We
like-
had a couple close calls
Yeah.
that we were lucky that they survived. So things have been quiet on my end. Last month, we had 2 deaths on the same day. Had one in the morning, one in the evening. And I learned a few things on that. One was a devout Jewish man. And I learned a few things about the Jewish religion, which really reinforced my need for the cooler that we're working on. And they didn't want him to go to the funeral home, didn't want him embalmed, all of that stuff. So I learned a little bit there where it was another reason for me to have a little cooler storage that I hadn't even thought of in the past.
Where would
So-
you have taken them otherwise?
You know what? I ended up sending him to the funeral home with specific instruction not to work on him at all. They don't,
That's what they didn't
like,
want to trust.
Yeah, they were worried about that going to there, and like a woman's not supposed to touch the deceased, and he's supposed to be in the grave by the next day, sundown. I learned quite a bit there. But anyway, we got through it because I called the funeral home and said, hey, we're not doing anything with this guy, just need him in the cooler. And so we got through it that way.
Okay, that's good.
But it would have been a great asset to have that cooler up and running for us. So just another thing I hadn't even thought of in the past for why we need one. So I am progressing with that. We do have the container bought. It's in my yard. And I've got a bid for spray foaming it for our insulation. And the bid came in at $2,640, $2,640 to insulate the entire container, 3 inches thick with spray foam, which is, I'm told, will be quite adequate.
Yeah, and you're in budget.
Yeah, it'll fall into my budget, no problem. So we're running way under budget so far, so we
Good.
shouldn't have any issue.
Good.
Shouldn't require any extra money. So, and then our 2 deaths that day, we had one in the morning, one in the evening. And so we were hopping that day, but thankfully May's been quiet so far.
Good.
So other than that, I don't have a lot for you.
Okay.
And any questions, I'd be.
I
happy to
have, I have
answer.
one, do we have this cooler's gonna be running off of electricity, correct?
Correct.
Backup hookup also to, it's gonna be near the sheriff's office.
It's gonna be-
Backup, or-
It's gonna be supplied from the sheriff's office, so if Rich's generator's running, well, we should be okay.
Okay.
So, on a large part of the year, it shouldn't even have to have it running, when it's cold out, it won't have to run much. So, the system I'm getting is Bluetooth compatible, and I can run it from my phone. So I don't even have to have it on until I get a call and know I need it.
Right.
I can turn it on from the phone and cool the thing down. So it won't run all the time, but, when we do run power out there, we're gonna catch the dive container for Rich, and his, garage out back doesn't have power. So I'm gonna trench to all 3 of those. We'll supply power to everything in his yard then, when we do that. So,
That was my question.
yeah, should work well. So,
Good,
that's all I got for you.
good.
Anybody?
Any comment from the employees back here? Good. All right.
There it is.
All right, thank you.
3 minutes 40.
Sir.
Record, another
Good,
record.
good.
Thanks, sir.
Good.
Thanks, sir.
Good, good.
Thanks.
That was good, thanks.
Okay, now we're gonna get into the staff, the rest of the staff. The Veterans Services, I saw Dominic there.
Yeah, he's back.
And,
Morning. Good morning. Good to see you since this morning.
Yeah.
so, before you get started, I know you came in, but after I gave my little spiel, I think. Did you catch that we're 5 minutes and you can just summarize the
I thought it was
highlights?
5 minutes, so I get 30.
Yeah, no, you can take their extra time they save.
Well, turn your mic off.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
There you go.
I'll give you these before I forget. So there's actually 2 of those this time, because we didn't count for Courtney's first month. So her 40 hours, we've got a separate sheet for that. But her hours are incorporated with mine on that CBA 26 now.
Okay.
And I'll hand out my chart. All right, well, I'll skip all the,
You got
how many
plenty of
claims
time.
are fine, whatever, but, I was in the office for 40 days, I had 40 walk-in, 13 days out of the 17, we had spring training beginning of April. 40 scheduled appointments and 40 walk-ins. Total claims since arriving here is 451, and 378 being rated, so that's 83%. Burial reimbursements, we did have the 1. They changed their process on that, and I put the paperwork in on Wednesday, and it was already done by Friday. So that was quick. So they got their burial benefits and everything switched over from compensation to survivor benefit stuff. I've still got 1 survivor benefits claim pending. As far as new claims, 101 veterans that have submitted first-time claims, and this is through the end of April. 70 are now service-connected, so that's 69.3%. April was a good month. I increased the monthly compensation for the year from 20,000 last month to 45,000. We had 6 people get to 100% last month.
Really?
So it was a good month. So total compensation through the end of April from the beginning of January is $765,000 in additional increase. And then you can see the breakdown. And again, I put an asterisk on anything outside of the county that was new for the month. So obviously Fremont County is still, I got people swarming down here. I mean, you were talking to that one gentleman yesterday at coffee to come down from Fremont County to sit with us at coffee and meet with me.
So, do you have an idea how many actual veterans are in Custer County side of things compared to Fremont at all?
You want exact number?
Like, no, but roughly, because there are some people you probably aren't,
On paper, we have 581 here in Custer,
but there's more.
and Fremont County, there's 4,500.
Yeah.
Chaffey County, there's 1,500, and I've got people coming to me from,
all 3?
yeah. Well, Chaffey County's VSO is no longer there. She quit, because people started asking questions why she's never in the office. So she quit. And then, obviously, the problems in Fremont County still exist. They've got 2 new VSOs up there, along with the
Well, maybe,
problem.
so what percentage of people do you think you're seeing Fremont versus Custer? 2%, 5%, 20?
Well, I don't track that, but I would probably tell you, because we're so close to the county line, we've got folks up there in Colfax that come down. I'd probably tell you it's about 60-40 Custer and Fremont.
Well, maybe you need to get them to help fund it.
Well, I mean, they've got VSOs, but the problem is.
I know, but
They're not helping, they're not helping.
They're not doing it.
And that's the problem. The conversation needs to be had with those county commissioners, like,
Because eventually, we need your time, and if it's 40% is taken up,
Yeah.
and we're losing other things you could do better for other things, not the.
well, I mean, look at last month, I had to help 2 homeless veterans out of Chaffey County.
Yeah.
And that's why she ended up quitting, because people started asking questions. I'm dealing with another veteran right now out of Fremont, who's got some real significant cancer. And he wasn't getting help, he wasn't getting the medical care, and I had to get involved in the medical side of things with the VA to get his treatment moving. And it was unfortunate that I had to do that, but I had to email every single patient advocate in the Eastern
See, we
Colorado.
hired an assistant for you because of the loads that we have, and now we're getting 20% more, it sounds like, from Fremont.
Well, now Fremont has 3. And they're all
They have
part-time.
3 assistants?
And no, they have 3 VSOs, and they're all part-time.
What?
Yes. Yeah, you look at the homeless problems both in Chaffey County and Fremont County, and I hear about it every month from Fremont County. Well, where's your VSOs? Because we know that a portion of those homeless there are veterans, and what are we doing to help? Or what are they doing to help?
Right.
We are helping, we've got Dominic, but what are they doing it all, right?
Right.
So,
But they need help even just getting to the Veterans Hospital in Denver.
But that's a conversation, because, again, I mean, I answer to you guys, and it's the same for them, but if their commissioners have no clue what they're supposed to be doing, and they don't track their metrics, they can't show what they're actually doing, they're not showing that they're effective.
Isn't there a statute that helps some of it?
You know, the statute says that every county has to have a VSO.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all it says.
that's all it says. Yeah, what you do with that VSO is.
Yep.
And the only reason we have the report is so we continue to get the funding back.
But I do this report, and my report's probably more thorough than anybody else's in the state,
no
because
question about
I wanna make sure you guys know what I'm doing and what's going on.
Okay, all right, I bogged you down because
No,
we
you're
took the
good.
5 minute.
All right.
But to summarize, go ahead. Summarize it.
As far as my grant goes, I'm down to $1,900, which is good, because I'm gonna get rid of all that before the end of June. And then we'll find out at the end of June for next year how much we're gonna get from our grant.
And that's the same VAG grant.
That's the VAG grant, yeah. Problems with that, and I found out, so I placed somebody's 83-year-old veteran and his wife up on Oak Creek Grade and had no indoor plumbing all winter. So we replaced that water heater, the sewer pipe was cracked, replaced that, and then, you know, got everything working for him. And then they started turning around and said that the water heater was considered a capital improvement, and so was the sewer pipe. I'm like, it's a 1940 single wide trailer that's held together with tape and gum. I did nothing to add value to that home. I said, I can understand if I put in solar or something, but they would not reimburse for the water heater. So I got them to shift on the sewer pipe.
Good grief.
I had another veteran here a couple weeks ago. If I hadn't intervened, his house would have burned down that day. And I was working home on a Friday, and my phone rang. I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't answer it. But then the transcript popped up, and it was like, we have an emergency. We have no electricity. So I called him, and I have a veteran who's an electrician who went up there, and he's like, this is bad. They got JRB came out, and they were like, yeah, if you guys hadn't acted, his house would have burned down today.
Yeah.
But can't help him with that either, because they're considered capital improvement.
Yep.
So the Legion's helping him out with that bill.
That's good.
It was
A lot to
bad.
help with the communications.
Yeah, so anything now, if it's repairs on a home, I'm calling the state to find out, hey, can we cover
we
this
do it
or
or
not? Yeah,
Great.
so lesson learned. Outreach, again, I'm doing stuff up in Fremont, because veterans are streaming down this way, so I was up at the Legion, doing that first walking claims clinic up there, and we had 12 people walking. And every single one of them had told me that they had gone to the VSO in Fremont and got no help, and they've been working with them for years. So those folks are getting taken care of. And 2 of them were Korean War veterans. There's really, I mean, upcoming stuff, we've got I don't want to say Memorial Day parade, because it's neither on Memorial Day or it should be a parade, but Saturday is a parade, we'll be out there for that. And then the Memorial Day service is on Monday at 10 o'clock out at the Veterans Park in Silver Cliff. We did not get the flyover this year because the FAA dragged their feet and didn't sign the paperwork in time, so I was a day late getting it into Buckley. So yesterday I got it signed 4 times in return to me from the FAA. I'm like, that's great. Only needed it 3 weeks ago. So it's not gonna happen for us this year. And that's pretty much all I got.
Good. Your pie charts are gonna be online.
Oh, yeah, we can get them. I can give them to Caleb.
Good, thanks.
Okay.
Any other? Okay,
Thank you.
let's make a motion on,
I'll make a motion to approve CVA 26 for the Veteran Service Officer.
Bogus, I'll second that motion.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the CBA report. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Oh,
Bogus, aye.
Kanda, aye. Let me sign it and move on.
Ooh, I do have one other thing.
Go ahead.
4th of July, we're doing a picnic, a community picnic, and it'll be essentially free for everybody. So Courtney is running point on that with the American Legion.
Did you say it louder? It's right here.
Yeah.
Free, did you hear the word free?
It's a free community picnic, and it's an opportunity for veterans to thank the community for the support out here. So that'll be on 4th of July, after the parade.
Yep. Memorial.
And I did say Courtney was running point, right?
Memorial.
Yeah, you did. Thanks,
Okay.
thanks, Dominic.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next up, human resources.
Mr. Bob. You're aerobics in.
Yeah. Sorry. I need to grab it, I'm gonna take it in order. Good morning. Bob, how you doing?
Good.
Bob. You're up.
Okay, so, thank you, gentlemen. So attached to my report was the updated department plan. I didn't take time to go through that. I've made some updates and changes, and so if you get a chance to look at that, if you have any questions, I've also handed out a status report on open workers' comp claims, as well as property and liability claims. Those are, I didn't attach to the report because it contains stuff that's not public information.
Right.
We had 3 responses to our RFP for employee benefits and broker consultant. Paul and I interviewed all 3, and then we also had 1 response just for workers' compensation. We interviewed that person. Very pleased with the responses and possibilities. I'm working on a report to bring to the board for next week on recommendations and provided information for the board. So more on that.
So is the good news cheaper, better service, or both?
Both, in my opinion. Definitely cheaper, right up front, I believe, on the workers' comp side, and I believe on the medical, dental, vision, and life and ancillary coverages, ability to have better coverages or options, and for the immediate, and then ability to increase that ability to retain some monies for the county down the road.
Okay, so related to that, you'll have to give me an exact answer because all the employees are here. How many workman comps claims have we had on the average for the year, or give us a statistic on the importance?
So over the year, for a whole year, roughly 25 or 30 workers' comp claims. We've had probably 2 to 3 what I would call indemnity claims, which is more, so the breakout claims between just the medical, I got hurt and now they fixed it, in indemnity where they lost time claims. So
that helps.
That helps. We have 7 open workers' comp claims now, 5 from the sheriff's office, 2 from Road and Bridge. I've had some conversations with CTSI about trying to, some of those claims are not active the way they're not actively being seen, or they're not being released at MMI or maximum medical improvement, trying to get those closed. We have 6 property and liability claims, working on getting those closed. In my report, I'm trying to meet 5 minutes. There's the staffing levels currently of where we're at. We are actively recruiting positions for DHS, Child Welfare, Adult Protection Caseworker, the supervisor, to be able to get that filled, and then a child support specialist, 2 road and bridge equipment operators, either full-time or part-time. That is going well. And then 1 to be posted soon as a seasonal grounds position. And then also started working on the CAP with renewal, which is the property liability and casualty insurance coverages through CTSI. So I'm working through that renewal. It's somewhat of a lengthy process, given the depth of what it covers, so I'm starting on that. And then also working with the sheriff on the renewal for the jail inmate coverage. So a little bit about that. We don't have a jail here, but because we house inmates with Fremont and or temporarily here and transport them, there's an additional rider on the CAP policy to cover those services. So I'm working on that renewal.
Very good.
And I think you saw the breakout of the jail in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Our jail has concrete walls, so
yeah,
we don't have to worry about that.
That's true. Okay.
All right, thanks. Any questions?
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you. 4:55, good job.
Yep.
Next up, find
Good morning.
We say, Vernon.
Good morning. Good morning, Vern. Good morning. You're on.
Oh, I love the timer. Well, it's hard to distill down months of work onto half a page of paper, and then you tell me I'm not supposed to read it. But,
You can read it, just don't.
okay.
Give us the
lion's
give us the good news first.
Good news first. Well, then we'll start with completed projects. First completed project was it's a DHSEM audit, Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We went through an audit with OEM, auditing back to 2021, 22, and then again 24, expenses through the Emergency Management Office. It was quite an educational process. It was the culmination of it was an 8-hour meeting with the feds and the state to review all of our policies, review.
All meaning what? Homeland Security only or what?
All of our financial policies.
Okay, good.
So there were basically three prongs to this audit. There was the Emergency Management Office, Robin's office. There was HR policies and procedures that they wanted to review, and then there was finance. And so we had done a lot of legwork and prep work leading up to this. Thank you all for the policies that we've passed over the last 6 or 8 months. It really helped with our with moving through this audit. They also gave us a lot of best practices. It was an incredibly insightful experience. All comes back to the understanding that free money isn't free, but we just, yeah. So it was very educational. So that was huge. That was weeks of prep work and then an 8-hour meeting. So also completed projects include the closed circuit TV camera proposal for the sheriff's office, the RFP that went out, as well as the contract IT services for the IT department. That RFP went out as well. In progress projects is, of course, the audit preparation. We are doing a substantially larger push to have all of our data for the auditors and reviewed by the accountants before the official start of the audit. We've already gotten information to the auditors. We've been on the phone several times with them, but we are moving forward with that.
Official start is which date?
June 2nd is the official start. He's already got some information from us, and we'll get some more this week and next week, but yeah, official start is June 2nd.
Good.
So one of the things that we're working on so when you look on this financial report, we have a CFA, Schedule of Expenditures for Federal Awards Preparation. We receive $850,000 or more of federal funds, which requires us to not only have our regular audit, but what we call a single audit. So one of the things that we are doing, this is just an example of the work that we've been doing over the last few months to prep. It's never been done before. We are preparing the CFA so that we can hand it to the auditors and they can review our numbers, rather than relying upon the auditors entirely to do that work. So we're doing, the accounting and finance department are doing everything that we can to kind of pull back our time and expenses with the auditors and doing it in-house. Like I said, it's never been done before in the history of Custer County. So this is just an example of some of the work that we're doing right now.
Great.
Sweet.
And that's.
You did it in 412.
All right.
Any other questions?
Redlands implemented an auditing documentation software to organize everything that we've got to turn over to the auditor, so he can go through it. So we're not handing him stacks of information and going, oh, here it is, audit us. No, it's organized for him for what he's going to audit for. So it should help.
Yeah, it's good to know that she also provides a report that will be online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good job, thanks.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next, IT. Come on, John.
Mr. John.
Nice shirt.
Thank you.
Mr. John, welcome. And
Okay.
You're on.
John Mapes is up.
Had a busy month, got some ongoing projects, was able to get some stuff wrapped up. Going through and auditing the entire county's Microsoft accounts and how they tie into each other, department to department and internally in the departments. Going through all the landlines, trying to figure out what phone numbers are currently being used, which ones aren't being used, and trying to make sure we have a list of what department is actually its number.
And you found out there's a lot of unused lines, is what you told me,
We're finding that out, yes, sir.
that we're paying for.
Yes, also we've been having some connections at the sheriff's department that we may have found the issue and got to the bottom of that. We'll know more as users give me back some data on the changes that we've implemented. Was able to finish up an inventory of the health department and get all of our IT infrastructure labeled and both into a database. We had a CIC update that caused some issues throughout the county that we've been dealing with. We had the fiber optic line that got hit that knocked out everything for the county. So that, again, some fun issues there that arose.
You're referring to which fiber optic line?
I believe it was a fiber optic line that was hit by Woodland Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Cripple Creek, what I heard.
Yeah, and that was one of the main lines apparently that feeds the county, and so,
Yeah, the reason I bring that up, and I'll give you back 30 seconds, is because that points out the single point of failure we had. They took the whole county down, including couldn't pump gas, couldn't work the cash registers, banks had to close down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It cost us all money. That emphasizes the importance of the broadband program that we have currently to get around that, which is running a solid fiber line up from Walsenburg off I-25, the main trunk line up here to Texas Creek, and then from Westcliff down to Canyon City, basically, picking it up there. So that the only thing that could happen, unless they have another trunk line like on Highway 525 cutting it off, we shouldn't be able to lose any of the important business infrastructure, and whatever houses that we are able to put on that as we go along personally or privately into all residences that fiber can reach in the county. That's the plan of the program. So that gets us into lots of grants. I've applied, and right now there's I think they're working on, we'll have a meeting just so everybody knows you can come to it when we schedule it with the two towns again, probably in a couple weeks, because the time for the grant application is now. We'll understand it better. Thanks for bringing that up.
yes, sir. Beyond that, I've been able to go through several of the departments and refurbish some equipment from one department and implement it into the other department. That way it's saving us some money. All departments have seemed to be on board with that and been very willing to share some of their old IT stuff, that instead of having to charge another department, I've been able to move some things around to save some people some money.
We had our own garage sale to ourselves.
Yep, somewhat. So on another note, I would like to thank Vernon for his leadership and his tutelage. I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing without that.
Yeah, that's a fact. Thanks. Okay, any other questions for him? Anything else?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
What is his new title?
Good question. What's your new title?
It's IT and GIS coordinator.
Coordinator. You can't.
Good deal.
Okay.
And you're moving your office, or have you done it?
Chris's last day is today, so that'll be next Tuesday. I'll be taking over the office and merging.
Good.
So I was doing training with him this week.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Good job, and you did it with, shoot, under 4 with my 2 minutes I stole.
Okay.
All right, next up. We've got Human Services, come on up, Miss Vicky.
Miss Vicky.
Good morning.
Morning, Vicki.
Miss Vicky.
Good morning.
Come to you, Vicky.
I'll try to be.
All right, your time to shine, and,
I don't know about shine, but okay. So our total EBT, which is our electronics benefits issuance that we give to the clients that we serve, the total for everything that we do, to include TANF, old age pension, food assistance and whatnot, was $107,894 in the month of April. We had 2 child welfare intakes. One was screened in, the other was not. For adult protection services, we had 2 referrals, and one was screened in and one was not. Child support services, we have 72 current cases. I do want to make note that is not on this report, that we currently have 5 adult protection cases that are actually open and we're working. And we also have 5 child welfare cases that are open. So I'll start putting those on this report of what our actual active open cases are. That seems a little high right now, but it could be due to the warmer weather, end of school. So I want to track that to see if we have any trends going on there for any open cases that we are getting here in Custer County. I think, mine's really quick. There are charts in all of the different programs that I did submit, so those will be online. The only other thing that I have is when we had the power outage, we could not do anything as all the other departments in the whole county either. John was very, very helpful in getting us back up, but we had to contact the state IT to assist as well, because our server, we have a separate server, and it went down, so we could not do our work. So they had to come out. I was notified by the state IT that our server is required to have a cabinet, a specific server cabinet. So they are working, they did give me a quote, that's gonna cost DHS a little over $1,800 for that cabinet. They are not charging us for the actual cabinet itself, they're just gonna charge us for what it's gonna take for them to come up, install it, because we're not in compliance right now with the way the server is. It should be in a locked cabinet. Yeah.
Is there any way to move that cabinet down to the basement, like we're thinking about doing with our other servers? To give you more.
Is there a legal reason why
space?
we can't?
Or,
So it'd be nice, that server is very, very loud, so it just causes a lot, it's just very, very loud in our office. Regardless if we keep it upstairs or we move it downstairs, it still needs the locked cabinet.
Well, point he's bringing up is there's space that you could use and the noise you can get rid of, and is there any reason why we couldn't? And maybe Vern has a reason if he knows of one.
I support, as former IT, I support the idea of moving it downstairs. It's gonna be an infrastructure project, because right now, the only cabling that we do for DHS is to supply the internet, their connectivity to their state computers.
Right.
Then everything is routed within their office. So if that equipment tower moved downstairs, all of that routing would have to be routed downstairs. So it's not just a matter of moving the equipment, it's also a matter of moving all the routing. So just be aware of that.
well, that might be something that we do in the future then.
Yeah.
Put it on.
At least get it on the cabinet.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if anything has to do with, I believe that the flooring underneath is concrete, am I correct? I've been told it's
Some part.
concrete. Yeah, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it either, of moving it downstairs, so.
Do you know if this cabinet has any soundproofing to it, or?
I do not know,
reducing?
I just
It's
know that
not.
they had one in stock.
It'd have to be air conditioned, because I think that's off a lot of heat.
Well, that's a.
We're hoping that it at least
investment
cuts down on the
program maybe
noise,
we
but-
Look into,
Yeah, we need to put that on
put it
the
on there and discuss it during budget
capital
time.
improvement.
All right.
And the only other thing that, to make note that I'm working on is, the state has I'm gonna go over, the state has a program, Colorado Works STEP program that I'm working on, getting grant funding, so I'll keep you guys up to date as I get more information on that, because that will help them.
Okay, any other questions?
No, thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Vicki.
Right.
Well, sure, go ahead, real quick.
You mentioned the figure for the amount of money going out, $107,000 included food assistance and all that stuff. Have you started planning for when the food assistance money stops coming in from the federal government?
I haven't heard anything official or anything from the government in regards to the food assistance. I've actually in
The House just passed a budget that cuts it, so.
We don't know how yet.
Yeah, we don't know how, we don't know if that just affects, which departments that's going to affect.
So you haven't started planning for when you lose the money?
If we lose it, we have not, that's correct.
When you lose it?
Okay.
I mean,
Thank you.
we're working with food banks. I mean, we do have a food distribution every single month at our office. Right now, I've still got 6 boxes, so if anyone, is in need of food, they're more than welcome to come down and get it. And we just had that yesterday. So we are working with food banks and different agencies and stuff just to see what's going to happen.
Good question, thanks. All right, next up, Vince, Road and Bridge.
Oh. Mr. Vince.
You get a haircut for this meeting?
Yes, and I
Thank you
shaved.
for doing it, appreciate it. You shaved too.
Go tie next time.
Okay, we're currently working on Copper Gulch right now. Should finish it up next week. We're putting new gravel on it, and we're ripping parts of the road up with the rippers on a grader. I brought the mag up. I went and checked it this morning. The mag come up, so hopefully it'll hold longer than 1 week.
Hold it on that note, because what he just said, they ripped the road, but that road was so bad, it was dished out, bottomed out, flooded, it soaked the water up, it's a mess. We've had a lot of complaints, so what he's done, and I'll repeat it because I said it last week, or last meeting, we are prioritizing the most significant roads, and that's what we've done. We're not gonna bounce between one road to the other, just because I'm getting some complaints either, unless it's an emergency or something to that effect. We're also we're having a problem slowing people down through the work zone. That's why we have the deputies out on each end. And I think Rich put out for the last few days, 2 shifts, one in the morning, one in the afternoon on each end. Problem is, in the middle, they blasted through, and in the past, they've actually run over Vincent road signs. We have to get new signs. So we're clamping down on that, speeds wise, and we're probably not gonna bring the speeds clear back to 45 in most roads because of the damage that high speed does.
I talked to Mr. Kanda about it, in between where the asphalt on Copper Gulch Road goes north to where Custer County and Fremont line is, that speed limit on Copper Gulch is going down to 35 miles an hour on that dirt. We can't hold it.
Right. So
Go from 40 to 35.
Yep.
And
When it goes 40, so what difference does it make?
well, but the point is there will also be enforcement. People are, and I see it already on some of the other roads that we have done that with. They're getting some tickets, and especially the people coming from out of town. It's going to get worse, but they're used to driving faster. So we're probably going to see on Rich's report a big uptick and some tickets for the next few months, probably, because it's important. We got to slow them down for safety, and it costs money to us. The citizens are paying for it in the roads. So go ahead with the rest of it.
Okay, and then we rebuilt County Road 236, 238, got ditch pulled, culverts blowed out, brand new culverts put in, fixed, it's all rebuilt. We shouldn't have to touch it for at least a year or so. On the agenda for June, the pump service at our shop's gonna be down for approximately 30 days. That's what the contractor told me. It's supposed to start June 6th on the pumps. Tear them all apart. There's not gonna be a concrete pad there. We gotta dig a trench. We gotta put new electrical service in. Cause it's shorting out when it rains or snows, we lose our pumps. So it's gotta be fixed. And then we plan on in July We're gonna be chip sealing 6 miles of Rosita Road. We put brand new asphalt down last year. We're gonna be covering that with 1 layer of chip at 6 miles. We are gonna be resurfacing from Highway 69 on Schoolfield to Macy. We're losing that road. We're gonna be repatching that road. We're gonna be resurfacing that road. And if there's enough money left, we gotta be on Horn Creek, and we gotta do from County Road 131 west up to Horn Creek Ranch. We're losing that road. And that's our project so far. And we got 5 cattle guards we gotta fix. The main one is on Copper Gulch. As soon as next week, we got a full week. When we have a full week, there will be 1 lane traffic on Copper Gulch at the south end. That cattle guard's gonna be raised up and fixed so it's not like it is now. And we gotta replace a culvert on County Road 111. I had a rancher call, the cattle are walking across it. We're gonna have to replace it. We gotta replace the cattle guard on 271. We're having 2 of them, they're too narrow, so we're gonna replace them. And we're taking out a cattle guard on County Road 198 at the top. And we're taking 2 cattle guards out on County Road 341. Plus grading roads and hauling dirt.
Vince, is that
In your spare time.
The ones that we're losing that you mentioned, are those losing its binder because of hydration and stuff like that, or is it just use with the?
It's high traffic. Last year I put the counter out there on Copper Gulch in August. I put it out there for 20 days. The average cars were 720 cars a day for 20 days on Copper Gulch. And I set the counter off on Highway 69 and the asphalt on Copper is where I set it on the south end.
Okay. Questions? Okay, thanks, Vince.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, airport from the ground to the air. Clyde.
Shouldn't have sat down.
Thank you, Clyde. Hey, Clyde.
Hey, Clyde, how's?
Hope you guys are doing good.
Good. And how's the airport?
Well, the airport's doing pretty good, actually. The most important thing I think we need to talk about is our new jet fuel. The tank is in place, it's in service, everything's been finished. There are still a update or 2 that need to be finished later on when the new cabinet comes in for the hose reel, that needs to be replaced. But we are in the jet fuel business now.
Happy with the apron, how it turned out?
Yes, the apron is fine. It's very good, actually. That has been completed. We have no issues, but I want to make sure everybody understands now that we have jet fuel available for emergency services, like the emergency medical helicopter can now fuel at our airport.
Right, that's gonna be a big deal, because the tourism industry's picking up, the mountain climbers are gonna be falling off of them, and other issues will happen. So this is actually a very big deal. That's why the state funded this as much as they did.
Yes, and also for the first time this summer, we're going to have fuel available for firefighting aircraft if we should have a fire.
Yeah.
The second thing that's, well, and also I wanted to mention that we are striving to have the lowest price jet fuel in the state.
Yeah.
And so far, I think we've managed that.
Yeah.
By a pretty good margin.
Oh, that's great.
And the purpose for that is to start bringing more traffic into this county.
Yeah.
More flying tourism.
More tourism.
Is that due to where we can you pre-buy or hedge it, where we can have that price, or is it just where we're getting it?
No, we can't pre-buy ahead, but we can shop for the cheapest price. And the way we do that is by deciding how much we need to order at one time. So, excuse me, so this time we ordered as much as we could possibly get. And we got it at such a cheap price, we're able to undercut just about everything.
Even Walsenburg?
Even Walsenburg, we're beating them by $1.
By $1?
Yeah.
Better get ready, you better be out there full time.
Yeah, and I've already been contacted by 4 jet pilots who plan to come in and buy fuel this weekend.
That's great. Good. Okay. The fence, project and at the bottom of the gates, are they going on?
That's right. We have a game fence around the entire airport now, which is important for safety purposes. And everything is finished on that except building up the road underneath the gates. The gates are still a little high enough off the ground that the deer can crawl under them. Antelope, of course, is going to slow them down.
Yeah.
And we have a contractor scheduled to start that, I believe he said next week.
Okay.
Same contractor that did the
Did
pad.
the pad, yeah, good.
Okay. I don't have any other.
Lucas?
No, thank you.
Questions, anybody? Okay, thank you, Clyde, good job. Oh, when's the, anything about the Airfest, any progress, what do you got, different plan?
We're working toward that. We're getting to, really just in the planning stage right now, but the date planned is August 16th. We tried to choose a date that we wouldn't be competing with any of the big air shows in the state or anything.
That's good. And we'll get a lot of, by the way, there are a lot of people that'll fly down from Cheyenne, Wyoming to go down and get a free breakfast, and people do that, so.
Yeah.
With the runway like it is and the fuel that we've got now, I think we're gonna have a lot of traffic.
Our infrastructure is in very good shape right now.
Yeah.
And it's getting better all the time. All of our equipment's in good condition for maintaining that infrastructure.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Brian's up. Landfill.
How's it going?
Good.
Good morning.
Hey.
Oh, that's the clock, huh?
Now you can see it.
Yeah, that's your, that's your stop.
I've never known you to be too
Oh, no.
verbose, so I'm expecting 2
My
minutes.
reports are pretty brief. Everything's going good out there as usual. The equipment is, all fine because it's new.
Is that John Deere loader actually not having to go out for service as much as it?
No, it's good. Okay. Yeah, so, we just finished with the scraper, for phase 2 of the area fill. And then I got a blade from Road and Bridge, so I've got to smooth that phase 2 and then build the berm. There's a perimeter berm that surrounds the entire area fill for water to drain around. But in order to put trash, you have to have a berm for phase 1 that goes all the way across area fill to contain any stormwater. But once we get the second berm built, then we can get rid of the first berm. But I do have to get the CQA, which is Construction Quality Assurance Report, for phase 2 done after I get that berm built. And so that is what I'm mainly working on with the guys. I'm dealing with the state, the Air Pollution Control Division. I was informed that there is a new greenhouse gas reporting portal. And basically, I have to go through the EPA, and it has been sort of a hassle. So I'm dealing with that. I've got a meeting tomorrow with the state to see if she can show me exactly what they want. There's all these calculations for the methane.
Is it the same person, Jill, or who?
No, this is a completely different division. Yeah, so hopefully get that squared away tomorrow and then be in compliance, because that was supposed to be done at March 31st. I mean, I know they're giving us leeway because it's just
Their fault, not getting that.
Well, yeah, so no, everything's going good out there. We are getting more and more volume of trash because of the season, We get about 7,000 last week, then 8,000 the week before. So that number is just gonna keep going up, so. It's critical to get phase 2 done, so we're not waiting on the state, so.
Yeah, like we were.
Like we were. So, yep, each phase will have to go through the CQA reporting, you gotta get that report before we can put trash in it, so.
Okay. When do we need to cap that well?
Oh, that's a good question. So the phase two that we just did goes up to the well, but that berm will be to the east of the well. So we've got time.
Okay.
And then I've talked with Tim with recycling. If we do get that reimbursement, or what do you call that, Tim?
It's a rebate.
Rebate. We could possibly use some of that money.
Okay.
To, because we gotta abandon that well and dig another well.
Right.
So, and that's, I talked to Jill, and we can put trash in phase one and probably phase two before we abandon that well.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
yeah, we got time,
Okay.
but it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Other than that, I don't believe I have anything else. I didn't print the totals. I think I'll just do that quarterly.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's, sufficient.
Yeah, I'd go.
Yeah.
Great.
That's all I got.
All right.
Quick question, Mark, are you gonna stay after, during the meeting, or you?
No, I'll stay.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to you afterwards.
Okay. Well done. All right.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Thank you, Brian.
There's Brian.
See you later.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a quick.
Okay.
Come on, recycle.
Recycle?
Recycle you again.
I'm gonna stay standing up.
Yeah, I guess.
Good morning.
Oh, Tim, good to see you, Tim.
Good to see you. Good morning.
Okay, reset. Recycling, how we doing?
Everything's going well. Everything's starting to ramp up. We're seeing increases, which is expected this time of year. But everything's been going very well. Steve Wilkerson, our operations supervisor, doing an excellent job. Everything's going very well. I guess Brian mentioned the CDPHE rebate, so I did want to mention that. I believe I'll be talking to you all concerning that next week.
Yeah.
And what that is a rebate grant. It's an open application process right now that I'm into. It's based on the mileage, the volume of what we're doing, what we're diverting. They have a specific formula, and I'm very hopeful that it'll be a significant.
When are you expecting the answer?
The award, I believe, is in July. And I don't know exactly how much that would be. Like I said, it's based on a very specific formula.
But you've turned in all their data you need.
I'm in the process of doing that now.
Okay.
Yes. And like I said, I believe we'll be talking about that next week. So I can give you more information on that. But primarily, we're hoping to use that, at least initially, for the well out on the landfill recycle property. So just briefly on production statistics, year to date, this is just through April. We are, let's see, we've produced 90 bales of all material. Vast majority of that is going to be cardboard. Year to date, 65 bales produced. I also want to mention that we do pick up from Tractor Supply in Buena Vista and Canyon about every 2 months. So that is not included in what we've produced. That's strictly what we've produced, but it does add to our volume. So we're doing that. We're seeing a big increase now in cardboard and mixed paper as well. Let me see here. Looks like we've produced 24 in April alone, 18 of cardboard in April, and that's steadily gone up, and I expect that to be much higher in May. We're on pace to really go up in numbers. As far as revenue, we're significantly increasing over last year, and last year we doubled what we did in 2023,
So all of that looks good. The markets are still fairly low. Cardboard did go up to 80 a ton, but that's a far cry from what it was back in December, which was 110 a ton. So we're hoping that that's going to continue to increase. Aluminum, I believe we're receiving 80 cents a pound on that, and steel is 150 per ton. And paper has remained fairly steady at about 55 a ton. So that's where we're at there. Year to date on sales revenue, $11,572.36. Let's see. And last but not least, we have a wonderful group of volunteers. I always like to mention them. They come out on Wednesday and Friday mornings, and they are a huge help, and they've done a great job. In April, we had 13 volunteers that equated to 44 hours of work in April, so.
Yeah.
Sounds like good.
I think that's
Summer, good.
about what I've got.
Good job.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? All right, thank you. Next up, thank you, Tim. It's Robin's up next. Line up, Robin.
Yes.
Got the OEM.
Yep.
Good morning.
Hey, hi, Robin. Thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, the OEM report, May 2025.
This is the April report, but May is Wildfire Awareness Month. And so I distributed, maybe Kelly, if you could grab those, that I guess got left over there. We have a sticker and a checklist for evacuation and things that you should be considering around your home. That is important to get out as people start coming back for this season, as we only have a few good months to do that mitigation with. So I've been doing a lot of public education through the library and other places where we can get the word out on how important it is to take responsibility to do that work around your home and land. As Vernon mentioned, we had a state EMPG, the Emergency Management Performance Grant, which federally currently pays for 50% of the OEM director and personnel salary and some benefits. Had that monitoring team visit. Wasn't exactly an audit, it's more like a pre-audit, I guess, to give us some education about some things. And I also want to thank all of the folks who are involved in those best practices and resources and policy development. Special thanks to Robert Smith and all the commissioners and Vernon to put together those finance charts and policies, and I really appreciate that. And we are also working on our department equipment and inventory procedures as a result of that, going back and looking at our larger purchases above $5,000 and making sure we have good records. And we do have a really wonderful volunteer, Kathy Griffin, who volunteered for assisting us in some grant orientation and also in assisting our payables. So we appreciate the volunteer help as well. Also on the grant, we have a site visit for other emergency managers to come to the county and see what we're doing in OEM. We think this will increase the mutual aid and working with other counties. Well, we're going to go to each county, all of us, and know how to get into our emergency management resources and the trailer and the building if we need mutual aid. So I think that's going to be really positive. The enterprise grant for the state of Colorado was denied, a $750,000 grant. That could be reapplied for as we have congregate feedback about what the people who did not get the grant could improve upon. So I'm working with John Van Doren on that. He is the chairman of our Community Wildfire Council. We also hosted in April the annual fire update, and that was where all the cooperators in the county hear about what kind of MMA and assets that we have for firefighting. So good to know that they can now refuel at the airport and not have to go back to Canyon, so that's really good for firefighting. We did get the county chipper, and that was delivered on May 8th, and we're working through the vehicle requirements to pull the chipper. The Homeland Security grant, we were able to change the scope of work and purchase more radios, which is a need in the county. And we continue to recruit and train chainsaw sawyers. The next class is July 7th through 10th, and we have a recruitment flyer, so please contact me if you know anyone who would like to take free chainsaw training and be part of the team. We also have a neighborhood ambassador awareness program related to wildfire, and we now have 12 ambassadors and just got Cuerna Verde on board, so that's a big one and a lot of threat for wildfire. Those in Custer County for the highest risk, 16.7% of our county is at the highest wildland-urban interface risk, 20.6 at the high risk, and 30.4 at the moderate risk. Only 29% at lowest risk and 3.1% at no risk. So we are one of the highest risk counties in Colorado. And so we want to continue to highlight that education through disaster preparedness.
Can you hold it there for a second?
Sure.
Hey, Rich? Yeah, there you are, I'm looking past you. Wildfire, what's the status?
Fire ban?
Right now, fire ban wise, it might, because we've had some rains and I know you're on top of it with the sheriff, with the fire.
Yes,
chief.
so we're currently in a stage 1 fire restriction, and that's based on conversation with the chief of the Wet Mountain Fire Protection District. I look at the weather every day, and it looks like we have a good stretch of rain coming, so we are allowing people to call in like 1-day burn
Ag
permits.
barons or whatever.
And so you can call in and say, hey, it just rained on Saturday, can we have a burn on Sunday? And as long as within this predicted to be less than 10 miles an hour, they'll do that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's that season that they're trying to get rid of the bad grass and weeds and branches that have been blown around lately.
Right.
But under the stage 1 fire ban, agricultural burning is actually permitted in there all the time, so.
Yeah.
But if you would still call in to report it, it saves.
That way saves the
trouble
trip
sending
out.
Fire trucks out to your house.
Although, the fire chief is really, he's got a brand new fire truck and they were happy to bring it out a few times. Go after one.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
I also have with me a brochure that I'll pass around on the red flag warnings and what those are, because that's really important in relationship to fire. Any questions?
Radios, where are we at? So by the end of June, it sounds like road and bridges are gonna be gone. 10-4 won't work. And they're part of our system.
They asked for 20 of them, didn't they?
So I've asked for 25 from Department of Corrections. I'm still waiting on those, but I'll follow up today when we're gonna get those, but it's the programming of those and all the accessories, so.
Chargers and things like that.
Yeah.
Right. Sounds like Sheriff and I need to work together to get that scheduled, probably in June.
Yeah.
And we'll get those programming things done as soon as we find out what radios they are that they're giving us and what we need as far as chargers and batteries.
Okay.
And we do have 8 new radios coming as a result of the Homeland Security grant. We were able to change out.
Who's getting them?
Those are OEM radios and will be available for emergencies to check out.
Okay, good.
Have we got an update on the snow rate that has, we're like 2 months ahead last month? Do we have an update on that at all?
Snowpack, I don't have the current numbers with me. I can certainly send that in, so you have that. I think the peak may have already really happened because we had that early melt, but certainly we'll still have snowfall runoff.
I just wondered if we had an update on that.
Don't.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Questions, anybody? Jim?
Real quick, you talk a lot about fire preparedness and prevention. Assuming the worst, say there is a wildfire in the area and it turns into a disaster, what are the plans to, or where are the sources for the disaster response that would have come from FEMA, which probably won't anymore?
So we're working with the nonprofits. That's a really good thing. When government starts shrinking, then oftentimes the nonprofits can pick up some of that. So some of those resources could be available, as well as other human service agencies. Vicki and Public Health and I are talking through how we would have a recovery committee and the agencies that would be able to coordinate. For example, the Colorado Works program that Vicki's working on can come into play with the disaster, as well as food for the DSNAP program.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate it. Good job. Okay, I did try to call, there she is, Reggie.
She's back.
I couldn't see it behind there. Thanks. Reggie's up with the extension report and probably some fair news.
Fair news? Fair
Morning.
average.
Morning.
That's right.
Morning.
How you doing?
All right, good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank John and Vernon. As you know, we have a new 4-H coordinator, and they have been very helpful in getting her set up with everything she needs to function in every way. So I wanted to thank them as we get started this morning. Did you have any questions about my report specifically?
No, but I'm glad that Eagle Scout project's moving forward.
Yes.
It's good to see some community involvement.
Yes, it's bridging our Eagle Scout program, our 4-H program, and our fair, so everybody working together on that, so that's super good. I did want to let you know we did 68 walk-ins for service this month and 41 call-ins. That doesn't include people just coming by to say hi or people picking up seed potatoes. We did distribute 200 pounds of seed potatoes over the last month for folks, so we'll be interested to see how they yield.
What are they asking? What's their common question?
Oh,
The walk-in,
Bill, there's a
covers
lot
the
of,
gamut.
it's everything, it's everything. How do I get my water tested? How do I test my soil? What is this weed? Can you look at my property? How many animals can I have on my property? It's a lot of 4-H things right now as we approach fair. People wanting to know how they get involved with fair, just a little bit of everything.
Real extension office.
Yeah, we have a couple of new things that I didn't include on my report. We do have a student day at CSU on June 10th. I had mentioned we were going to do a forestry academy and regenerative farming class, working with the library. They're a great partner, but we were not able to get that scheduled until September 2nd. We had hoped to do it in June, but that's been pushed to September. Working with the weed board and the Conservation District for the weed tour, which will be on June 19th. You should start seeing the flyers. We did some edits to that. I should hopefully have it out by next week to let everyone know that that is taking place. It is a registration type situation because we have limited capacity for that tour. So look for that signage around town and also on the social media pages.
So weed-wise, anything new? Weed board-wise?
No, we don't have anything new since we didn't get the grant. We didn't get the grant, yeah, so we're working through that and, just educating people so that they can do it themselves is the most important thing, and that's the direction we're going.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good job, thanks.
Okay.
You love your
Thank
office
you.
still?
Yes.
Really prime territory?
Are you gonna try to take my office? Like, what do you set me up for, Bill? That's true. Thank you, have a good day, appreciate it.
Kids Council. Yeah, there she is. Come on up, Kids Council.
Sorry I wasn't here at 9. The school had their annual
Oh,
fifth grade versus staff
Did you win?
kickball canceled.
Did you win?
The staff killed them, much to the dismay of my son,
I see
who's a
you're ready
fifth
to
grader.
fight.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I'll just kind of quickly go through this. I did submit the grant for the Beal Foundation. The last grant we submitted was 2 years of funding. This year, it's just going to be 1 year of funding. I will be meeting with my program manager from the state for the Beal Foundation on June 10th. That's just a formality kind of site visit for the grant. The Lego Club we've been doing, we just finished our last one this month. We've had 40 kids participate. Just again, kind of goes to show more after-school Friday programming wanted in the community. I have been voluntold to be a part of the LCO, that's the local coordinating organization for the Universal Preschool Program at the state level. The Custer County Kids Council is also the LCO for that program. They are looking at trying to find a funding formula for that, for how to figure out how to fund each of the different LCOs, and they call it catchment areas or communities, counties. So I'm kind of taking the lead on that. I volunteered to really do that just to make sure that the rural voice and perspective is represented. I'm going to skip from the affordable house working. I have some more details about that. Let's see, what else? The Caregiver Cafe, that's a term that we kind of created. We partnered with Pines Ranch on Fridays to kind of pilot a program for drop-in childcare. That's a big need here in the community. So right now, I think it's from 9 to 3. Caregivers, families, parents, whoever can go out there and work on site. They have Wi-Fi set up, and then they have childcare provided on site, and they're also using that opportunity to kind of train some older kids as far as maybe they're doing first aid, CPR, and babysitting certification. So that really took off this spring. They're going to extend it into the summer, and then we're meeting to try and figure out how to support them continuing to keep it going. And then, thank you, I was able to get my early childhood coaching credential through the Department of Early Childhood. So now Custer County has 2 certified early childhood coaches. That basically just supports the teachers in our community that are early childhood focused. That does include Robin Gady, who's our home provider. And then we are continuing to partner with the Custer County Early Childhood Education Center, which is basically the childcare center and the preschool at the school district. And we're excited because of the Universal Preschool Program has been successful in our community, that it has increased access to full-day funding, or the need for full-day funding. So we were able to increase the available slots from 10 slots for full-day preschool to 16 slots. So basically we're moving the classroom that was in the modular on the north side of the school. They're going to take the classroom in the elementary wing. So now we'll be able to offer an additional 6 slots of full-day preschool, which will be funded by the state through the UPK program. Let me clarify. 15 hours is funded for all 4-year-olds, and then the additional 15 hours, which would be a full day, is funded on eligibility criteria. And we do have, I think, 6 families that qualify for that right now. And then, fun thing, our 6th annual Family Fun Day is this June 14th from 10 to 1 at the park. Historically, we've had over 400 attendees. Lori, my colleague, confirmed that we have 25 participating partners. Each year it seems to get bigger. The Sheriff's Department is always gracious and is our cooks for us. So it's just a fun day for the community, and we appreciate all of our partners that continue to come back, and it's just a great opportunity for different entities in the community to kind of connect with the community at large and share information about what they do. I know Robin is there, and so it's just a great opportunity for agencies to connect with the community. And then I'm going to go back up to the affordable workforce housing. Custer County Kids Council has kind of partnered with the group that's doing that. And I have had some good news, and I forwarded the information to both Lucas as well as Mr. Keene. There's two organizations. One is national, it's called Mission Driven Finance, and they look at trying to help bring family childcare homes into communities that need it at an affordable option, as well as Rural Homes Colorado is the developer. So I encourage people to go look at what this is. It's Rural Homes Colorado is the developer. Right now they have a big development in Uray and Ridgeway for affordable workforce housing. The thing about what Mission Driven Finance does is that they will come into a community and do an assessment or partner with the developer. They will buy 2 of the homes, get them, they will pay the financing piece. The builder will build them, and they will make sure they're outfitted to licensing for a family childcare home provider. And then they work with those particular families to, at the end of 2 years, if they have stayed open and have met the requirements of a family childcare home provider, they give them the option of purchasing the home at an affordable cost. So really the need in our community is of course more childcare, but really more in the family home situation. That is an easier lift, so to speak, versus opening another childcare center. The school was an amazing opportunity, but it was a big lift, and it's a big finance that the school is carrying. So I'm excited to learn more of that. Mission Driven Finance is looking at expanding more here in Colorado. And I think with what the Custer County's Affordable Workforce Committee is doing, a lot of those pieces are already moving. So I think it could be a great fit, and I will make sure that I'm on the June 10th webinar to learn more and ask questions that need to happen. So
Questions?
And then one thing I just wanted to kind of clarify for the community and people who learn, Custer County Kids Council, we are, from a funding standpoint, the county is graciously our fiscal agent. We don't get any money from the general funds of the county. Our funding comes from the state and foundations. So I appreciate the support that the county gives us, but those conversations might have to change in the future.
Right. Yeah, you never know.
And you are funded through next year, June 30th of next
Correct.
year so far.
We were told that our funding will stay the same through the fiscal year 25-26, which basically means June 30th, 2026.
Good.
So that's good. I'm pretty confident that funding will be cut next year. So we know that. I've always kept us on the slim side, if that makes sense, still being able to accomplish the work. But yeah, that's definitely on the radar to look at additional funding. And the Buell Foundation, who already funds early childhood counselors across the state, is aware of that. So they're also looking at kind of some initiatives to help support that.
One quick one, at the end of school, does that give you a surge in things to do?
Actually,
School year ends.
sometimes it is a little bit quieter because we do so much work with the school, but we do a lot with the homeschool. But I think it tends to be after the big event in June and then closing out our books June 30th. July is a little bit, quieter, but you never know.
Question back here, Robin.
Can I just add what we're doing for the family fund?
Yes,
this year?
please.
We contacted the National Weather Service to do a spot weather forecast the morning for lightning and wind, so that we have a better idea with all those tents out there, and we keep it a safe event.
Yes.
And so that's a first. As you know, a lot of the forecasting really looks at Pueblo because it comes from Pueblo. We don't have as much forecasting for the valley, so that's a value added for the event.
Yes, and let's do rain or no rain dances and pray for less wind. And but yeah, last year the weather was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, good
Thank you.
job. Thank you. Good deal. All right, we're winding down. Any unfinished business? I don't have any.
No, is Rich still here?
Yes. Yeah.
So we have a Wetmore meeting June 11th, is that right, Caitlin?
Yes.
Could we need a jail tour again, because we're supposed to do that yearly. So did you see if June 11th would work? And if it works for you, or if we need, there's some other Wetmore dates that we have, but that makes sense while we're already down there, then just head on over to Kansas City, so.
I'll send you more right now.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. No, I'm good.
And I don't either. So public comment, any other comments here?
The only thing I'd have is, just our, all our boards, tourism board, airport board, they put in a lot of volunteer hours. We have a lot of volunteers that do a lot in this community, and lots of hours. They put in money, they put in, time. They just can't thank them enough for the service they give to our community, to the county as a whole, to the sheriff's department, to recycle department. We just have a lot of volunteers that are willing to help us out, so we just want to say thank you to them because they do so much. And then our own staff, being here and presenting in front of the public, it's not always easy. It's they deal with our citizens on a daily basis, and they do a lot of work for us, so want to thank our staff as well, so.
Yeah, for sure, and thanks for being here. It's good to have you all here, so thank you. Thanks for the good job. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting at what time? We had public, I asked. Any other, I don't think we had any. Okay, what time is it? 10:41, we're done.